Hello world, this is Cocoroom, heavenly garden in the middle of Kamagasaki. Hello world, this is Cocoroom and I'm Dan, your international radio host. And for this episode, I'll cover the Kamagasaki Summer Festival, which I took part in actually. Normally, the Summer Festival is carried out for 3 days straight on August 13th, 14th, 15th, and it's been this way for 50 years. The festival started to comfort people's shared feelings of homesickness. Many of the Kamagasaki people left their hometown and they just weren't able to go back because of many different reasons. It might have been personal, financial. We've covered some of that in previous episodes. Now, in mid-August, each family in Japan holds the Bon Festival, where people welcome and pray for their ancestors' spirits. It's a very special time, and many of the Kamagasaki people left their families behind, again, because of different reasons. And so, of course, they cannot go back to their families and celebrate Obon. So, the summer festival started because instead of their families, they could celebrate as a community. That's what's special about it. Now, throughout its 50-year history, they've held various programs and games such as karaoke, sumo wrestling, tug of war, musical performances, and other things, I'm sure. Of course, since COVID-19 started last year, many of these programs have been cancelled. The one I took part in this year was just 1.5 hours. What's consistent about each festival is the memorial service. Normally, this service is held on the last day of the summer festival. That's what I got to see, and I'll be covering it shortly. What's special about the service is that people who passed away from mid-August last year until now are remembered by having their names called out publicly. The person who reads out the names of the departed is a Catholic priest named Honda-san. So what's great about him is that he's been serving the community for more than 30 years. What's really special about him is that he believes the church should serve people no matter what religion they come from. So normally priests just hold funerals for those who are Catholic, but he does it for the people of the community. I find that interesting. And when I was at the memorial service, I noticed there was a Buddhist priest chanting in the background. And I find it unusual to see religious leaders mix in a public service like that. But for Japan, that seems kind of normal. People may not have religion, but they'll get married in a church or they die at a Buddhist funeral. So for Japan, this was kind of normal. When I was there, it felt really sacred. Like, I could feel like I was part of the community. And overall, it was a very peaceful evening. It was just nice seeing people, like, grieve together quietly. I don't know how to describe that feeling, but I can say that it's serene or peaceful. But yeah, I think we'll move on now to our coverage. So, let's go. Okay, so right now, for this part of the summer festival, a pastor named, well, I think I'm supposed to call him the Reverend Honda. He's going to call out the names of people who have passed away last year until today. These people have died alone, usually, and that's something that's commonplace here in Kamagasaki, because there's plenty of people without many friends or family. But yeah, this priest is amazing because he actually tries to do this kind of memorial service for these people every year during the summer festival. It's a great service, and he's about to start. In the middle of this triangle park, there's a memorial shrine. So it's just this little cubic building with some incense holders and pictures on the walls. And all these pictures are the ones of people who have deceased. Okay, so on top of the memorial shrine, yeah, it's a temporary one, it's makeshift, it's not going to be around for a long time. So on top of it is this centerpiece. It looks like it's made out of paper, and it was painted and made by the locals to remember those who have died alone. Yeah, so dying alone is something that's fairly common here because there's plenty of people who are isolated in this community. Yeah, elderly isolation is an issue here, unfortunately, and yeah, so this priest does this sort of thing to help remember them. And I guess it's a good reminder to people that there are problems experienced by the elderly here in Japan that you wouldn't normally think about because it doesn't always get covered in the news, but yeah, here we are today. So the priest is not wearing his like the usual priestly clothes of the Catholic clergy, except he has a purple stole, which is like a kind of scarf. But other than that, he's wearing normal looking shoes, some shorts, and a t-shirt. Not something you'd think a Catholic priest would wear, but yeah, he looks like he's one of us. And that's what's really exciting about this service. There's just nothing conventional about it. It looks like it's more down to earth and at the level of the people. And I guess that's why the locals accept this, because the priest is not acting like he's better than anyone. He looks like an everyman, which I think the people seem to appreciate. Oh yeah, and one more thing. So that centerpiece I talked about earlier on the memorial shrine, what I can see on it are the usual obon symbols. There's an eggplant and a cucumber on it. So what's really special about cucumbers in obon symbolism is that it represents a horse that moves the spirits of the dead quickly to their living family members so that they can enjoy their time together on earth again. The cucumber is the horse, but the eggplant is supposed to be a slow-moving cow that moves the spirits of the dead back to the spirit world slowly, because that's meant to be a little sad for the spirits, because they're out on earth having a good time, they don't want to leave. So yeah, that's a little bit of Obon symbolism for you. And it's now they're gonna call names. Okay, so now they're gonna call names. Okay, that's the first person already. Okayama Hidetaka-san, Oda Misao-san, Buddhist chant. Yes. Okay. So at the same time, this Catholic priest is naming the deceased. I can hear a Buddhist chant in the background somewhere. So this service mixes traditions, I guess. So yeah, on the one hand you have a Catholic priest, and on the other you have a Buddhist priest chanting, and you have Obon symbolism involved, a bit of Shinto here, and this is very representative of what Japan's spirituality is like. People aren't really religious, but they seem to take in all aspects of different spirituality, different religious practices together. And That's very typical. Really interesting being a foreigner here and just observing all this happen. Okay, so now we're about to sing a song about longing for one's hometown. It starts.
はい、ありがとうございました。これをもちまして第50回釜ヶ崎慰霊祭を終わりたいと思います。皆さんありがとうございました。
Okay, so the summer festival is over now. Thank you for listening. Have a good night.
Hello world, this is Cocoroom.